This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth. Donald Trump's tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China will begin Saturday, the White House says. That's tomorrow, February the 1st. And these tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, starting on Saturday, will be starting from a point of 25%. The White House says there will be no delays to this after rumors that this was going to be pushed back till March 1st, but no, February 1st is still the target. You've got Trudeau warning of forceful response if Donald Trump pulls the trigger on these tariffs. Well, guess what, Justin? He did pull the trigger. His press secretary just made the announcement that Trump will impose tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China starting this weekend. So it most certainly is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has warned the BRICS nations over their dollar move. He says, go find another sucker nation, warning them that they will face 100% tariffs and should expect to say goodbye to selling in the wonderful U.S. economy. So are we looking at a major trade war coming down the pike? You've got precious metals markets in turmoil right now as tariff threats spark a transatlantic scramble for gold and silver bullion. Gold right now is pretty much hitting all-time highs. It hit $2,800 earlier today, and I think this is going to show no signs of slowing as we continue to move into this 2025 trade war. So in this video, we're going to look at this. Trump slaps 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico with 10% on China. We're going to talk about all of that and much, much more in this video, guys. But really quickly, just before we do, I'd ask that you check me out right here at subscribestar.com/pressfortruth if you do appreciate my efforts to bring you this info. Guys, here you could sign up for $5 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month, whatever is within your means, guys, is very greatly appreciated. I simply can't continue to do this work without the support that comes directly from you, the viewers. So if you appreciate my efforts to continuously bring you this information, please consider checking that top link in the description below and join me at subscribestar.com/pressfortruth. All right, guys, check this out. President Trump warned Canada and Mexico to expect tariffs of 25% on exports to the United States starting tomorrow, Saturday, February the 1st. Speaking to reporters in the Oval Office on Thursday, Trump said he was following through on his campaign threat to impose border taxes on America's neighbors immediately to the north and south of the continental United States over inflows of illegal migrants and drugs and large trade deficits. And guys, he's certainly not wrong about that. There has been a major problem in Canada at the border with illegal migration. Consider what's happening at Roxham Road in Montreal and what has been for the last few years, where it's just a steady flow of unvetted, undocumented, illegal immigration going on there, like as if it's nothing. Justin Trudeau has essentially had to admit that we do have a major problem here. So maybe we do need to clean things up a bit. And in terms of the fentanyl issue, if you don't think Canada has a problem with this, just go visit East Side Vancouver, East Van, go for a drive down East Hastings Street, and you'll see just how bad the situation has gotten. It's absolutely insane. So, things do have to be cleaned up here to some degree, and, this is why right now, we're seeing these tariffs, and we'll talk about the trade deficits and the differences there. But he is kind of putting a lot of this on the fentanyl issue and the migration issue. Tomorrow, February 1st, Trump administration will slap 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico and 10% on China, as announced during Friday's press briefing. And it was, denied. They denied reports that this was going to be delayed till March. There will be no delay or selective targeting or a slow rollout of these phased-in tariffs, as speculated by Goldman Sachs and Deutsche Bank. That said, there could be certain exemptions, such as for oil and gas, which Levitt did not elaborate on, and that does pose the question as to whether or not gold and silver are going to be considered as commodities, or are they going to be considered as currencies? Because here's the thing. Nobody in the United States is going to pay a 25% premium on precious metals coming from Canada. In case you didn't know, the Canadian Royal Mint is globally recognized as innovators in that space. In fact, I think the Canadian Mint is the only one to have 5 nines in their purity. So they're producing coins that are 99.999% pure. And the bottom line is these are highly coveted pieces of bullion. And the Americans are simply not going to pay a 25% premium on this just to get some silver or gold maple leafs. What they're going to end up doing is purchasing American silver. They're going to start, focusing on American mines. And maybe, just maybe, that will cause a little bit of innovation in the space. Maybe some American miners and those who are striking and stamping out these coins will try to figure out how to get their purity levels up to those of Canada's levels. So I think this is going to push the price of gold and silver a lot higher as we continue to move into this trade war. I recall, telling my audience about gold and the importance of securing your assets and as a hedge against a dollar crash right around here. And it's since gone way up, all the way up to here. And again, I think that is certainly going to continue as we're seeing this threat of these wide-ranging tariffs on imports and the fear that these could be applied to precious metals. This has set a mad dash across the metals market to secure physical bullion on U.S. soil, creating doubt about the present stockpiles and future prices. Well, I think there is no doubt about the fact that people will simply not pay a 25% premium on precious metals, and they're going to start seeking to get it right there from where they should be, locally found, locally sourced. Again, this is what all this is leading to. But this decades-old trade war between Canada and the U.S. Has been an issue for a very, very long time. You could track this all the way back to the late 1940s with the GATT, the General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. And you can watch the incremental moves towards what is eventually going to become a North American Union. We went from the General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs to the Free Trade Area of the Americas, to eventually the Free Trade Agreement. And then, under Chrétien, that morphed into the North American Free Trade Agreement. And then under Paul Martin, you had the SPP, the Security and Prosperity Partnership. And now, under Trudeau, you've got all of this, and with Trump constantly talking about Canada becoming the 51st state, you have all of this progressing to what I have been saying for many, many years is an eventual plan for a North American Union. In fact, I documented that in a documentary film that I put out 15 years ago, guys, released in 2010, warning about all of this. This is a documentary about the North American Union that is being developed between Canada, the United States, and Mexico. For years, this topic has been debated in the news and political circles as being a possible future for North America, but in recent years, the mood has shifted as a rift is developing between those who want a deeply integrated North American community and those who wish to retain their national sovereignty. And in this film, we took a look at both sides of the issue, interviewing insiders and activists. And we also looked at the broader agenda of building a world government and its implications. Guys, we interviewed guys from the Council on Foreign Relations, members of the Trilateral Commission and the Bilderberg Group, the guy who came up with the Amero, which is basically the North American dollar that would be similar to the euro. And of course, we interviewed all the activists on the other side of the coin, warning that exactly what the title suggests. United, we fall. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention today, guys, that these tariffs are coming. Donald Trump has announced it's starting tomorrow. He's going to war with the BRICS nations over their dollar move. Again, this is going to spell potentially big things for the precious metal space. But he's saying the idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over. He says, we're going to require a commitment from these seemingly hostile countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs and should expect to say goodbye to selling in the wonderful US economy. They can go find another sucker nation. There's no chance that BRICS will replace the US dollar in international trade or anywhere else, and any country that tries should say hello to tariffs and goodbye to America. Guys, these are fighting words coming from the president on the global stage of trade. And in case you missed it, guys, I want to point you to this video that I put out in November of last year before it was announced that Trump was going to be selected. In this video, warning, Ron Paul, the 2024 selection, and the dollar crash that will be blamed on Trump. And in this video, I talk about how Elon Musk invited Ron Paul to join DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, in the lead up to this 2024 presidential selection in the U.S. And in this video, I covered the final days before the U.S. election as the Republican Party uses the good name of Dr. Paul to win the libertarian vote. And in this, I would have to agree with Dr. Paul, who suggests that we are still moving towards a potential dollar crash, and this could be blamed on Trump during his presidency in 2025. So, crazy stuff, guys. I will have links to everything in the description below. Once again, if you do appreciate my efforts to constantly bring you this info, don't forget to check me out here at subscribestar.com/pressfortruth. Again, you can click that top link in the description below of whatever video platform you happen to be watching this one on today. And that's all for today, guys. Just wanted to bring that information to your attention. Once again, if you appreciate my efforts to do so, please click the thumbs up button, share this video, and stay tuned, guys. We're going to have more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.